Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, bell notification, like the channel, subscribe and share to get that information and education you need in a super simple, easy way to technically trade this market with a probability-based, company-made, industry-exclusive trading system and style. And to start off the bat, we're going to show you and give you the key to life and one of the major things you need to understand if you're trying to save money and if you're trying to get rich or increase your wealth or standard of living. The first thing, as we look at the US dollar, has been on a nice little rise in the past couple of months after it had a big decline. One of its first real big declines in the daily time frame after its big bull run since the Fed started, wink, wink, tightening policy right here. And you can see we had a big correction down here back to the 101 spot change, attempting to slip below that. Now we're starting to form like a long-ish W double bottom reversal pattern. And we made this back here at the moving average when we were sitting here back in November of 22. We said you're either going to get supported on this and come up and try to retest, or you're going to come all the way down to or you're going to come down to the blue support resistance level. That was a major resistance level, and then try to take it as support, or you're going to break down and go below, and it's going to be a big drop. And right now you're trading along it, trying to hold it as support. But the key to this, and the key to increasing your standard of living and quality of life, is being well-rounded. But one of the first things about being well-rounded and identifying a game plan, dissecting it, getting educated and learning how to implement it and do it, you have to start off small, because getting rich or increasing your standard of living, with that, your wealth increasing, doesn't happen overnight and it isn't easy. And the things they try to show, like BitBoy Crypto and the rest of these charlatans on here, they try to show you and tell you it's easy and it's quick. It's not. It takes hard work and discipline. And one of the first things you can do in the title in here, how I saved $20,000 in 10 months. And the simple truth is, you have to start with the basics. You have to start with an income. You have to start with some sort of job that creates money for you. And you have to learn, when you start earning money, the first thing you must learn is how to make a solid budget and track your money, where it all goes. And until you can learn to balance a budget and put money away and stick to that game plan over time and setting up financial goals with the income that you're making and the circumstances that you have, even if it's just saving $100 a month or $1,000 a year, you have to set those goals and achieve them. And part of your education, you have to get to work or generate an income. And with that income, you have to learn to operate a budget. Unlike these people that couldn't operate their emotions and this big mountain double top, right? They got hammered and then the price came down, right? Now the price is starting to relax a little bit and come back up to the low area of the major support resistance area, where you had support 1, support 2, support 3, right? Now it's coming up and getting initially rejected. These people didn't have a game plan. These people didn't have the education and understanding or an implementation and how to use it. And if you don't know how to do that and budget and set goals and save goals for yourself, you're never going to get rich in any sphere, because you're going to be easily manipulated to the next easy get-rich-quick scheme that takes no dedication, that takes no planning, and is just going to afford you the wealth and the lavish lifestyle that you watch and you want from these influencers online. And they're there to try to sell you this felonious, false perspective of how you're going to get rich and the secret to it. And if I show you this, how I saved from April of 2022, so in 1 year's time, from April 10th of 2022, you can see we had $49,000 in this account. If we fast forward all the way to early April, almost the exact a year to the date, we had $68,000, right? From $48,000. So in 1 calendar year, we were able to stash away in this account $20,000. And you can see since April 12th, we put another 800, we put another 1,000, we put another 900, we put another 1,000, and we put another 1,000 into the savings account, right? And how did we do that? Did we do it by a get-rich-quick scheme? No. Did we do it by taking classes at $1,000 a pop by these online influencers? Absolutely not. What we did was we got a job young. We started to earn money. And then as we started to earn money, we had to learn, well, no matter when I was making more money, as I started to generate an income, I had no money left at the end of the day. And I had to get an education and understand that every dollar you spend matters. And there's a lot of waste that goes on in your day to day life. And you have to learn to sacrifice and save up for things and then purchase them with a strict budget that you do not deviate from. And then you continue to try to generate more income that you save. And then when you reach a certain saving goals that you have set, then you can take that cash now that you had that discipline and invest it. But I wouldn't recommend investing until you've learned how to discipline yourself into saving and having a structured life, right, with your income and not falling farther and farther behind. If you generate more and more money, but yet get broker and broker and fall farther and farther behind, that's because you don't have an income or a money problem. You have a budget problem and an understanding on how to manage money, right? You have a money management problem, and you must get that under control before you start investing. And that's what I think, and one of the biggest things about BitBoy Crypto and the rest of these influencers, Logan Paul, Carl from the Moon, all the rest of these charlatans, Crypto, is they try to fast forward you past all the education and discipline and what you must learn first as far as budgeting and being good with money management before you jump into the education or the investing field. You're going to get wrecked. And that's what they're basing it on, and that's what they're trying to play on. And that's what I'm here to tell you. The way I did it, the way I've saved up money, the way I have acquired a $200,000 net worth in the last 10 years. I went from 10 years ago at 27 with essentially a zero net worth besides a few $100s in my checking account to $250,000 net worth between all my accounts. And I showed you right there in 12 months how I saved $20,000 in 12 months by going to work, by learning how to budget, by understanding money, by understanding and educating myself on money management and how to facilitate that and implement that and stick to it. That's how I've done it over the last decade. It's not quick. It's not sexy. It's not flashy, but it does get the job done. Just like I bought this. I didn't buy a truck that I couldn't afford. I started making more money and still drove a piece of shit around for 7 more years until I had enough money to buy this, right? And then I bought a truck. Did I buy it brand new? Fuck no. This thing was $52,000 brand new, right? It's got the Hemi, it's got navigation, it's got power, heated steering wheel seats, all that good shit. 12 speakers, Alpine sound system. But did I buy this brand new? Absolutely not. I went on the used car lot, sifted for about 6 months, found the truck that had low miles, that looked good, that wasn't all beat up, and I bought it. And I put 100,000 miles on it almost since. We're at 100, or I put 88,000 miles on it. We're at 108,000 now, and the thing still runs beautiful, and it's almost paid off. I could pay it off now, but fuck them, right? I only owe $4,000 on it, and the way I did that was by budgeting. And what am I going to do with this? Am I going to buy a new one? No. I'm going to ride this thing for another 5 years at 100,000 miles because I take care of it, and we don't need that as I make more money to buy a fancier truck. That's just stupid, right? Instead of buying another truck the last 5 years, I have saved that money. And now, after educating myself on saving and knowing I can do it and being good at managing my own money, eventually we're going to get into the real estate field where I'm going to start buying more real estate, right? Because I've went in my last 10 years from my very late 20s, I said I got 10 years to acquire a bunch of capital, learn how to save it, and then try to get a nest egg of savings, a retirement account. I bought my condo that is now worth $90,000, and I paid $10,000 for it, if you can believe that, on a foreclosure. It is nice. It's not a shithole, right? And now we've built up equity, we've built up capital, and a 200,000+ net worth with 135,000 of that in cash, right? And we did that by hard work, saving, and budgeting, right? And now we're willing and able to take the next step as soon as the opportunity presents ourselves, because we took 10 years of education, right? But you can see the Bitcoin price now. And I had to tell you the dirty secret to how to save $20,000 or how to change your life. You got to learn how to money manage. But you got rejected here. We know that. It's at the $29,000 level. And we bounced off the shorter term moving averages that we had circled here in the daily time frame. And now our next move is coming up here on our super simple technical analysis would be to come up and try to get into this red trading zone again, breach this old regional local high from back here in April of 2023, and then try to hold this as support and then pump up another level to the upside, right? Or it's going to start to get rejected between here and the bottom part of this red trading zone, just like it did there. So you could even come up like that, and then you start to trade down and retest the blue trading zone. So those are still our two options. Right now, we're trying to slither our way to the upside. So our next major local resistance will be getting up into here at about 28,845.89. Major upper resistance is this blue trading zone at 29,000, or red trading zone VP volume indicator at 29,075.23. And the major lower support on a big breakdown would be this blue trading zone running roughly between 17,058 and 70, and the top part of that being roughly 19,069 and 69 cents, right? So that's what we're looking at in the Bitcoin price. In the old XRP price, we can see in this super simple technical, oh, we had a big pump. You can see in XRP, I wish I would have been paying attention to this. We actually did bounce off the 200-day moving average, and you can see we came all the way back in to the 51 cents. We had a big wick here, and this is what we were talking about. Remember, we put this pattern in a couple of days ago when the price was still sitting down here, and now it's come up initially all the way up to the top part of this blue trading zone, or the bottom part at 51 cents. And now what the key is going to be, does it get stagnated here and collapse and quickly reverse upon itself? Or does it try to get all the way up into this, hold some support at this 51 cents, bottom part of this, what should be, or this blue trading zone, the upper resistance that we have where we got shut down here, right on the return rally. We're going to see if this can't get into here and hold is a big critical question. Maybe try to come up to 68 cents, or we're going to get rejected in the next day or two here, and we're going to quickly come back down into this area that we were just on, the moving averages, and then fall below it and come back to 37 cents. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love.